Okay, so plumbing up. Now this is something that you see a lot of anglers get really quite wrong, but there's some really simple basics to make it really easy to yourself. So nice. First of all, on a simple rig. This one, we're doing a little bit of far bank fishing today. We're on the Snake Lake, so it's typical kind of 14.5 meters across, and we're going to plumb up to some reeds. Okay, and hopefully get some fish there today in some shallow water. So I'll set roughly the float, about the sort of the depth that I'm kind of looking at. So we're starting off at what we're on. Let's have a look. So I've got markers on my top kits, so I know what depth that we're fishing at. So we're starting off at just over 2 foot, 2 foot and 2 inches. Okay, this is what we're at the moment, and we'll see what happens. So the plummet. Okay, so the one that I've got here it's a Preston Innovations 20 gram with a nice foam bottom. Now I like something that is heavy enough to keep your line nice and straight, but not too heavy where it's going to sink into silt and stuff like that. Okay, but just so you can sort of feel where it's a firm bottom. Okay, so attaching it, so you put your hook through the hoop. All right. And then, nice and simply, into the foam at the bottom. Alright, so hopefully you can see that there. Just press it in. Okay, and you can line the line up with the groove that's on the plummet. So everything sits nice and firm and secure and tight. Okay, and then once you get out there, obviously it keeps the line nice and straight. So if that's the bottom, okay, you will then be able to see if the surface of the water, for example, is about there, you'll be able to see that your float's sticking out that far, okay, and you can shallow it up so that you get the exact depth of what you want to be fishing in, and that's the whole idea. And that works for everywhere, not just against a feature, but that works for everywhere, down the middle, down the side, on a shelf, whatever you want to do. Okay, so it's the same principle. Okay, so once you attach your plummet, we're going to ship out to where we want to fish. And I suspect here it's actually shallower than what we've got there already. So I can see now there, as I drop that there, I've got a nice firm and flat bottom. Okay, I can feel the weight of the float there. So that's suspended in the water, and then I think it just hits the bottom. So I can see there we're kind of a float length and a bit over depth. Okay, so we're going to come back in and we're going to shallow up by sliding the float closer to the hook. So as we can see, there was about kind of that much sticking out, so there's a bit of shot in the way there. We'll slide that down. Okay, I'm going to move the float about the same kind of distance to where I could see before. And then we go out and try it again. So there we go, it's on exactly the same mark, and I can feel now, there, that's the bottom. So I've still got the whole body as the float, plus a little bit of the bristle sticking out. And what I want is about half of the body of the float sticking out of the water. Okay, that's all I want to be able to see. So I still need to shallow it out a little bit more. So again, I'm going to move the float slightly closer to the hook, about that same distance as we were just looking at. You can see now I'm about 18 inches deep, which is perfect for what we want on our feature on a Snake Lake in the summer, like a mudline feature, or up against reeds in this case. Okay, so as we can see now, that's suspended there, that's the bottom. So I've got half of the body and the bristle. Okay, that's what I can feel now. You can see when the float's dotted down, that's what it looks like there. Nice little pimple. So I get the tiniest little on the float, and that's going to show up straight away. Little plumb round just to make sure. Yeah, and I'm happy now that we're fishing dead depth there. Okay, so plumbing up anywhere else. So in this particular case now it's down the track. Okay, down the middle of the snake lake that we're on. It's deepest part, so I'm looking for the deepest part, and I've sort of worked my way out to the point where I picked my mark, okay, and I found the spot that I want to fish in. So as you can see there, if I lower that in a nice straight line, okay, and that's just hit the bottom there now, so I'm a pole flow length and a little bit, okay, over depth. You can see that, it just hit think there. So I just need to shallow that up, move it closer to the hook. And what I do is I hold the line where the tip is, and then I pull it down basically what is pretty much the length of the pole float, the equivalent. And that way I can take it out and try again. So again, picking the same mark on the far bank, the same mark on my pole, okay, and we're lowering it in just on that spot there, and that's just hit the bottom there. So as you can see now, that's the base of the body of the float. It's actually an F1 just swimming past under the pole now. Okay, that's not bad, that, to be honest, but I want to be a little bit, only a little bit shallower. Let me just try left and right a little bit, yeah. I can feel it just going into the sill. So literally, I'm only talking about 5 mil there, but when you're fishing for F1s, it can make that difference. I'm going to take just the tiniest little bit off that. So same again, these good habits, the same mark on the far bank, same mark on my pole. So I'm going back to exactly the same spot, and there it is. So you can just see now, the middle of the body of the float, that's the bottom there. Think. Okay, just right there, that's what we need. That's on the bottom. A little rock or something just there. Perfect. Just what we need. Just maybe a touch too much actually. I'm just going to double check that again. What's happening, you see, is this, it's a very silty bottom on here, so the plummet is sinking into the silt. So I just want to be absolutely certain. Yeah, there we go. Okay, bob on that, nice and happy with that. So we're fishing dead depth. We can always change it later if we need to. But obviously that is the secret in terms of plumbing up. Make sure you're really, really accurate, because the extra time you put in at the start of the day make a hell of a difference in your fishing. You know, it means you can catch more fish, and you're just nice and prepared, you're nice and settled, and obviously you're confident in what you're doing, and that's massive. So just make sure you take that little bit of extra time to plumb up, give yourself a really good picture in your mind about what the contours of the bottom of the water is, the lake or whatever it is that you're fishing in at the time. You want to have that in your head so that you can obviously choose on where you start and how your day progresses. That's plumbing up. My name's Adam Shawson. I'll see you on the bank soon.